Hey everybody, it's Dr. Burris, and every semester at the beginning of the class, I always show a PowerPoint that I put together that tells you a little bit about who I am, and it kind of gives you some perspective on my background and the way I kind of come at the world, and that usually makes it a little easier for people to approach me. And since this semester we don't get to see each other face to face because of the pandemic, I thought I would go ahead and do a video of that PowerPoint so that you could know a little bit about me. Okay, so let me jump back up here and we'll get started. Okay, so just a little bit about me as a professor and as a person. So I am from Adkins. I grew up in Adkins, graduated from Adkins High School, and love Arkansas for, warts and all. And I got my bachelor's degree from Arkansas Tech University, where I got a bachelor's degree in physical science with an emphasis in physics. And then I went to the University of Oklahoma and got a master's and a PhD in astrophysics. My particular area of interest is stellar astrophysics, and particularly how elements are created in stars. But I'm also interested in black holes and in gravity waves. And outside of that, I'm interested in meteorology, and particularly the formation of thunderstorms and the charging and creation of lightning in those thunderstorms. And then I do some work with the Arkansas Archaeological Society on some archaeoastronomy projects as well, looking at rock art and trying to find the astronomical significance in that. I have been teaching basically since 1998. I taught at a community college prior to moving back home to UCA, and this is my 16th year at UCA. I have to count every year. I also think that service learning is very important, and so is public scholarship. And those of you in my majors class and in my honors college class will find that out a lot this semester. I will beat that drum significantly. In my other life, I am a farmer. I am a third generation family farmer. My family has lived on that land for over a century, and I raise grass-fed beef cattle. I also have horses. And I have different kinds of poultry. I have rabbits, and I have several dogs and cats because I kind of live at a dump off spot where people leave their animals and hope that the crazy lady on the corner will take care of them. My parents are no longer living, so it's just me that takes care of the farm. So I have basically 2 full-time jobs. So some things that I thought would be fun to share with you. I have a diverse taste in music. I find a lot of my music that I enjoy through TV shows that I watch or through videos that I watch. And then also YouTube's algorithm. Obviously, I'll try out listening new stuff on there. I love to read. I'm an avid reader, and I'm also very involved in the campus women's book group. So I love to read. And so those are the last few books that I have read. Now, I am a strong proponent of giving back to your community, and I really truly believe that change happens at the grassroots level. So in the past, I have volunteered for many different groups, and I am still actively a volunteer for the Lake Dardanelle State Park, where I do STAR programs, or I handle snakes, or I work with kids on the water cycle, or whatever my friend Sasha, who is the lead interpreter, needs me to do. And I am also a volunteer for the Rainbow Riders equestrian program for young women over in London, Arkansas. So I'm very involved with that program as well. In fact, I spent most of this summer, I was on a horse 4 to 5 days a week from 6 a.m. Until about 10 a.m. Okay. And so farming in my life that revolves around farming is a strong component of what I like to do. I love to ride my horses. I love to do dressage on my horses and driving. I love photography, although I haven't been as active in going out and taking photographs as I used to be. I'm an avid birder. I also hunt and fish because I think if you're going to eat meat, you should, own up to it and be involved in gathering that meat or harvesting that meat. I also shoot occasionally in 3D archery tournaments where we go and shoot the targets. I'm a geocacher. I love to geocache. And if you want to know more about that, you can talk to me privately. And crafting. I'm a rabid crafter. I'll try any craft that I can get my hands on pretty much, but mostly I knit and crochet and do needlework and I sew. Those are my main crafts, but I also love doing basket weaving as well. My pet peeves, the ones that need to bother you are probably the first one and the last one. Own your stuff. Okay. If you make a decision, that's your decision, but you have to be able to live with the consequences of it. If you choose not to turn your stuff in, then you need to own that. All right. Coming to me after the fact and telling me, oh, I was so busy, or oh, I just didn't get it done. Own your stuff. And, you know, telling me how busy you are is probably going to not go very far with me because I'm pretty busy too. Also don't like anti-intellectualism. We seem to be rife in the world with that lately, and I don't like that. And then also irresponsible animal owners, and that's because I have so many animals that people have thrown away. My big obsession, and you'll see it come out later in the semester, is I love nuclear physics. That's one of my favorite things to study and to understand, and I love nuclear physics. I've seen half of one episode of Game of Thrones, and it was Red Wedding, and I was like, oh no, no. I'm a tremendous consumer of podcasts. I probably have 50 different ones that I subscribe to on my phone because I have normally have a commute. So I listen to a lot of podcasts driving back and forth, and I talk to my animals all the time like they're people. Okay, I just put this little list on here because I think kind of codifying your memorable experiences. Some of them you know when you're in them, and some of them you kind of look back on and go, that was a big deal. It's worth thinking about those things. So now, just kind of funny little things about me. You know, I love to watch quirky stuff, so I'm big into British comedies and British panel shows. So QI is one of my favorite British panel shows, and I used to be a fan of Top Gear, but now I watch the Grand Tour. I like RuPaul's Drag Race. I've seen a lot of the older ones. I haven't watched as many of the newer ones simply because I don't have TV service. And then currently my favorite show to watch over and over, it used to be Criminal Minds, now it's Lucifer. So I just thought that was kind of fun and interesting little tidbits about me there. Like I said, I love to do photography. I am a avid collector of vintage glass, like dessert plates and barware and stuff like that. Don't really know why, but I just enjoy it, and you can usually pick it up pretty cheap. I have a large and diverse circle of friends, all of whom I love very dearly. My blood family is pretty much non-existent, so my family is who supports me. And so I know a lot of different kinds of people, and I love them all and accept them all for who they are, and I meet them where they're at. So in my, I was thinking about what my favorite quotes were, and sometimes I get caught up in the fact that, well, there's not that much time left to do things, or, well, what are we going to do if we do this now? And one of my favorite quotes is, one crowded hour of glorious life is worth an age without a name. So I'd rather live, like Auntie Mame says, than have life as a banquet and most poor suckers are starving to death. And I think right now the middle quote has really resonated with me for the last couple of years. Human kindness has never weakened the stamina or softened the fiber of a free people. A nation does not have to be cruel to be tough. And then obviously Carl Sagan speaks to my scientist self with, the beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. So I actually have a little podcast called Diary of a Physicist, Farmgal. So my friends all think of me as that. But anyway, so I hope that gives you some insight into who that I am, and I hope you enjoyed that. And I will look forward to interacting with y'all in class.